breakouts, okay? We're going to talk about Mac Jones, where here's what Barnwell writes. Jones probably isn't going to win the job away from the $265 million QB, Brock Purdy, but don't be surprised if he plays well enough to get a more significant opportunity elsewhere on his next deal in 2026.
Before you ask the question,
Return of the Mac.
Wilds.
That's a good one.
Wilds, because I know our...
Shout out to Grant Cohn.
For the video. Because I know our audience is busy, so they probably didn't have time. And Barnwell writes long articles.
Yeah.
They might not have had time to read the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you read at the very least the whole Mac Jones section.
Yeah, and the Devontae and...
Right. Would you say the Mac Jones section was complimentary of his play from our friend Barnwell?
More of like a restaurant that needs to find its footing, perhaps. Like some dishes I really like.
We did pick the nicest 40 words in 200 words about why Mac Jones has been really bad in a lot of spots.
It's the best coaching he's ever had.
But he had Josh McDaniels.
Post Josh McDaniels.
Oh, okay.
Post Josh McDaniels. I'm not giving up on Mac Jones. Can I sell you why? Oh, I forgot I had a trick here.
Yeah, sell me on.
You have a trick.
Yeah, here it is. There's a video that I sometimes watch when I'm in a bad mood. You ever be in a bad mood and you're like, I don't even want to feel better. I want to feel worse. No. It's a weird thing to be in. In any event, that happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, it's usually right before a morning call, and then you get on and yell.
I click on a video called "Every Mac Jones Interception," but they get increasingly worse. And I watch the whole thing from start to finish. And here's what happens as it gets worse. He gets happy feet, he gets nervous, he doesn't see anything, and he throws a terrible pick. Basically, bad poise. He has no poise, and every time he got a new coach, his poise got worse and worse. Okay. Everyone buy that? You buy that? Bad poise?
A little bit.
It's true.
All right. Can I?
Go ahead.
Here's a quote from Sam Darnold.
Oh, there's more.
On what he learned from Brock Purdy.
What did he learn from Brock Purdy?
Yeah, Sam
I
Darnold
love
when
this.
he was behind Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Do
and
tell.
Then, and the next year he won 14 games.
Yeah.
Do tell.
I think his poise, whether he made a good play, a bad play, you celebrate on the field with your teammates, you get pumped, and then you come right back to the sideline and you have the same demeanor. That was something I always admired about Brock. Wow. So I'm not saying it's Kyle Shanahan that's going to make Brock Purdy, or Mac Jones better. It's Brock Purdy. Thank you. I knew it.
We nailed that one too. Nick, you saw what sitting at the feet of Brock Purdy did for Sam Darnold.
Exactly.
MVP
Brew,
candidate
can I ask you a
next year.
question?
Exactly right.
Hold on, I have a serious question.
That's a good one.
Brew, do you think Mac Jones is good?
Sam Darnold, but compared to
No, stop.
I think he has struggled. But again, so did Sam Darnold before going. Sam Darnold's had one good year in 7.
And it was the year after.
I was gonna say what.
He learned a lot from Purdy.
So
He says it.
Yeah. So I think Matt could learn from Purdy.
So here's my nightmare, and it should be my dream, is that for some reason or another, Mac Jones is going to get to play for the Niners. And he's going to, just like Brock did when he took over for Jimmy G, put up efficient, good numbers.
Okay. Listen. There's a collection of reasons of why a quarterback can make this, turnaround in their career. And it's not just magically sitting behind a quarterback, being with this coach. Like, some of that is going to influence it as well. And everyone always talks about Sam Darnold, but they fail, with Kevin O'Connell, but they fail to understand all the other work that he put in. The stuff that he learned from Purdy, from Shanahan, what he learned from Kevin O'Connell, but then also all the other stuff and practices that he did over the years with Palmer, who has talked at length. Palmer is someone who Colin Cowherd will periodically interview throughout the season and talked about all of the work that he put in there. So essentially, like a specific quarterback coach for him, and Palmer's worked with a lot of greats, Burrow, etc. And so there's also a developmental aspect of him just becoming in a vacuum now, removing all the other things that a coach can do and the teammates around you can do, just becoming a better quarterback mechanically, decision making, whatever it may be, and then being put with the right coach who's going to be able to put you in a position to succeed. It's not a matter of just like, oh, well, he was bad all these years and then he was great with Kevin O'Connell, therefore like it's just Kevin O'Connell, or he had a rejuvenation. Like no, this was years in the making for someone like a Sam Darnold. I'm not aware of all the work that Mac Jones is putting in personally. I just don't know. I really don't. But I will say this, the fact that Shanahan wants him does bode well for him. But at the same time, people also have to like you. And that was one of the problems with Mac Jones, is that he wasn't necessarily well liked. That's been, widely reported, his attitude. And quite frankly, that was the death of Carson Wentz as well. And it was the opposite with someone like Sam Darnold, which is why coaches wanted to continue to keep working with a Sam Darnold. So, I am curious to see what someone like a Mac Jones will be able to do for his career with the 49ers. But also, he has to be given the opportunity in the sense that the 49ers have to be up big going into like the fourth quarter or something. But even then, it's just going to be a lot of handoffs. Or they got to have their season pretty much locked up. And in the final week of the season, you get a chance. Sam Darnold did impress in the limited scope that he was given, and enough to secure a $10 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings, which I've reported from day one that he was always going to be the starter, regardless of J.J. McCarthy's injury or not. That's why you pay someone $10 million. That's not just casual backup quarterback money. It's just not. And he clearly impressed. And so when good coaches want you still, that signals to me that there's something there, which is why I still think that Carson Wentz could be a starting quarterback, because Andy Reid wanted him as a backup quarterback. Andy Reid's not messing around. He's not playing games. They were going for a three-peat. You're backing up Patrick Mahomes. You're not doing any type of charity work there. Like you're taking Carson because you believe that he can win you games. Unfortunately for him, his one main opportunity was when the entire team was sitting and the Broncos needed to win that game. So it was like there was nothing for him to do that game. There was no one for him to throw to, no one to protect him. I mean, like, he had nothing going on. Nothing. And the Broncos have a really good defense. And we saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes with the starting team against a really good defense. Didn't work out too well for him. So Carson Wentz had even less to work with. So he never really got the opportunity to be like, hey, look, I'm pretty good. Like I can still do this thing. So Mac Jones needs that opportunity, but also I don't know if I said this or not, but like people didn't like Carson Wentz. That's why he was always scapegoat. That's why they always leaned on him, and players did not like him. I mean, he had his own teammates, the Philadelphia Eagles, calling him out and being like, it's okay to check down, dude. Like, what do you, it's okay. Like, they were not happy. And it didn't help that Nick Foles obviously won the Super Bowl. And then Carson Wentz gets injured, and then they go back to Foles, and they're like, literally create a shrine for him. There's a literal shrine outside of the stadium, a statue. But personality and fit matters. And so you have to see, has Mac Jones continued to mature, grow, and develop? I don't think there's any real easy way to say, like, can he have a turnaround? I lean on saying no, because I think his style these days in the modern NFL is very limited. Mac Jones does not move well. He does not move well at all. You look at Sam Darnold and you're like, that bro's got some Josh Allen in him a little bit. I mean, I think at this point, the last kind of quarterback that really kind of looks like the Mac Joneses of the world is pretty much Jared Goff. And, you need an awesome roster and an awesome coach at this point in the NFL to wheel and deal. You just do. And you need a coach who can consistently give you answers when you are facing pressure, because you cannot do it with your legs and you can only move so much in the pocket. There's only so much you can do. And I think at the end of the day, that's what keeps Mac Jones a lot more limited in a consistently evolving NFL. I think someone like Mac Jones, as long as you continue to, be well versed with what the NFL is asking quarterbacks to do year to year to year, and you're still physically capable of, for someone like Mac Jones, there'll always be a spot as at least a backup. But are teams excited to take a flyer on him and say, hey, you know, kind of like the New York Giants needed a quarterback, the Cleveland Browns need a quarterback, the Colts kind of need a quarterback, like in those types of situations? Not so much. Not so much, because you're kind of like, I'll take this backup quarterback who's got some legs under him, who's got a little bit of oomph there, who passes the personality test. You know, like there's just like, I mean, at this point, I'd love to know, like, would a great coach rather roll the dice with like a Spencer Rattler or something, or a Mac Jones? I don't 100% have that answer fleshed out, honestly. My gut tells me 80% of it would be personality. It would be like, do I want to work with you at this point? Do I feel like you're committed? Because the floor seems to be kind of like, the floor is failure. The success, the ceiling is like, we could kind of rock and roll here. So I don't know. It's a weird conversation to have right now. And I was like on the fence of just skipping it, but the herd's been taken off. You know, Colin's been gone for a week. First Things First has been missing episodes because of soccer or whatever the heck what it is. So I'm like, all right, I guess we'll talk about, can Mac Jones have a Sam Darnold like comeback? I'm more interested to see what the comment section has to say rather than my own opinion, because I'm just going to be 100% honest with y'all. I only care so much. I mean, I really do. That's kind of my point. Like, you know, it's just like, how many people, and I mean like the people that matter now within the NFL, really want to see Mac Jones kind of make this comeback, this redemption. A lot of people wanted it for Geno. A lot of people wanted it for Sam Darnold. That much is very obvious. I don't know. I don't have that answer for someone like a Mac Jones. I really don't. And my gut tells me it's kind of the opposite. It's more Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz was actually a legitimate MVP candidate. Should have won the MVP, even regardless of the injury. And he's hugely responsible for why the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl ever. And even in the following season, still played pretty darn good with a team that was collapsing and a coach that's now been fired twice. And then the Andy Reid was like, I'll take you, son. Come over here. And I think Sean McVay. So two great coaches were like, nah, I'll take you. Like, that matters. I'm very confident that those coaches know way more about quarterbacks than you do, and myself included. So, I don't know. The biggest thing that gives me kind of question is like, well, Shanahan wants him. Shanahan's willing to take the flyer on him. And I'm like, okay, that means something to me. It's kind of a wait and see beyond that. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Mac Jones? Do you think he's ready to make this huge comeback? Do you think he's going to be given an opportunity over Brock Purdy, I guess? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so that you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.